Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the hidden treasures you might just have lying around in your pocket change. Today we're exploring the 1999 Jersey Quarter with the D mint mark and why this little coin might be worth way more than you think. These quarters could actually bring you some serious cash. And here's everything you need to know about spotting one and understanding its potential value. The 1999 Jersey Quarter is part of the popular 50-state quarter series that ran from 1999 to 2008. This series was designed to honor each state, and Jersey's quarter launched the whole collection in 1999, making it a landmark in U.S. coinage. But what makes the 1999 Jersey Quarter with the D mint mark particularly interesting is how certain versions of this coin have caught the eyes of collectors. The 1999 New Jersey Quarter showcases a historic design commemorating George Washington's daring Delaware River crossing during the Revolutionary War with his troops. It's a detailed and meaningful design that really captured collectors' interest. But beyond its historical value, certain quarters from this series are unique and more valuable than others, especially those from the Denver Mint. Let's talk about the D mint mark. If you look at the right side of the coin near Washington's ponytail, you'll see a tiny D. This shows that the quarter was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint produced a large number of these quarters, but not all of them are created equal. Some have unique features or rare errors that make them highly collectible and worth more than face value. So what makes a 1999 D Jersey Quarter worth more than just 25 cents? In many cases it comes down to two things: rarity and condition. Some quarters have specific minting errors that can make them incredibly valuable. These errors could include double dies, die cracks, or other unusual features caused during the minting process. Even small errors can attract collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a unique piece. For instance, a double die error is when certain parts of the design appear to be doubled. This happens during the minting process when the die shifts slightly, creating a doubled effect on the coin's details. If you spot a double die on a 1999 Jersey Quarter, especially on Washington's profile or the state design, it could raise the value significantly. Die cracks are another rare and valuable feature. These occur when the die used to strike the coin has a small crack, causing a raised line on the coin's surface. Collectors love these kinds of unique features, so if you have one, it could be worth quite a bit. Now, when you're examining a 1999 Jersey Quarter with a D mint mark, keep an eye out for these error types. A magnifying glass can be really helpful here, especially for spotting tiny details that might indicate a rare error. You want to look closely at Washington's profile, the date, and the New Jersey design on the back. Apart from errors, the condition of the coin also plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale, and collectors tend to pay much more for quarters in mint state or uncirculated condition. A coin graded MS 65 or higher could fetch a significant price. MS stands for mint state, meaning the coin hasn't seen much wear and tear. A high-grade 1999 D Jersey Quarter without any scratches or signs of wear could bring in anywhere from several dollars to even hundreds, depending on the demand. Value in market $1 million. If you're wondering where to sell or buy these valuable coins, online auctions are a great place to start. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and others often have listings for state quarters with rare errors or high grades. You might be surprised at how much people are willing to pay for these unique pieces. In fact, some collectors are paying upwards of $100 or more for 1999 Jersey Quarters with significant errors or in top-notch condition. So if you have some 1999 Jersey Quarters lying around, especially with that little D mint mark, take a closer look. You could be holding on to something much more valuable than just a quarter. Remember to check for errors, examine the condition, and consider getting the coin professionally graded. If it looks pristine, these small details can make a huge difference when it comes to value. We're diving into a fascinating coin that might just be hiding in your pocket change or coin jar, and it could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking about the 1986 Washington Quarter with the P mint mark. The Washington Quarter has been a mainstay in American currency for decades, but some specific years and mint marks have unique characteristics that can make them valuable to collectors. And the 1986 P Washington Quarter is one of those coins that collectors love. Let's start with the basics. The P mint mark on this quarter tells us it was minted in Philadelphia. In 1986, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these quarters, but not all of them are worth the same amount due to unique factors like condition and rarity. So what exactly makes a 1986 P Washington quarter valuable? First and foremost, it's all about condition. If you have a quarter from 1986 that looks almost brand new, it's known as being in mint state or MS condition. Collectors love coins in top condition, and they're often willing to pay a premium. One way to determine the value of your 1986 P Washington quarter is to get it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations use a scale from 1 to 70 to grade coins, with 70 being a perfect coin with no imperfections. A high-grade 1986 P quarter, graded MS67 or even higher, could be worth a significant amount, and sometimes several hundreds of dollars. But condition isn't the only factor. There are other characteristics that could make your 1986 quarter even more valuable. Some coins have errors or varieties due to mistakes during the minting process. For example, some 1986 P quarters have known die cracks, which are small cracks on the surface of the coin due to wear on the minting die. Another interesting error to look for is doubling, which occurs when the die strikes the coin twice, resulting in a doubled image. Some 1986 P quarters have minor doubling on the lettering or other details, which can add to their value. Now you might be wondering, how much can you actually get for a 1986 P Washington quarter? The price can range from just a quarter, if it's heavily circulated, all the way up to hundreds of dollars if it's in pristine condition with a high grade or has an error. But even if you don't have a high grade example, it's still worth checking out your quarters. You never know when you might come across an error or variety that could boost its value in market. $1.1 million. If you're interested in selling your 1986 P quarter, there are a few options. You could go to a coin dealer or try selling online through platforms like eBay or specialized auction sites. Just make sure you do your research to understand the current market prices and work with reputable buyers if you're going through a dealer or auction house. So there you have it. The 1986 P Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary coin, but under the right conditions it could be worth a lot more than face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, it's worth taking a second look at your quarters. We're talking about an often overlooked coin that could actually be worth a lot more than face value. The 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. The 1995 D Washington quarter may look like an ordinary coin at first glance, but if you're a collector or coin enthusiast, you know that some quarters can carry unexpected value. So why is this particular quarter so special? Let's break down the details, what to look for, and how much it could be worth. First, let's talk about the mint mark. This coin was minted in Denver, which is indicated by the small D mark located on the front of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. This mint mark is crucial in identifying coins that may have limited production runs, unique characteristics, or even errors, which can greatly increase a coin's value. Coins minted in Denver are often sought after by collectors because they sometimes exhibit unique characteristics not found in other mints. Now let's discuss condition. The value of the 1995 D quarter can vary significantly depending on its condition. Coins in pristine condition, known as mint state, are far more valuable than those that have been circulated and show signs of wear and tear. A 1995 D quarter in lower grades might only be worth face value, but if you have one in mint condition, you could be looking at a nice profit. Coins graded in mint states, such as MS65 or higher, are especially valuable to collectors. MS65 means the coin has only a few minor marks that aren't visible without magnification, and it maintains its original shine and luster. Some quarters from 1995 may also have unique errors that make them worth even more. Error coins are highly collectible because they are the result of mistakes made during the minting process, making them rare and sought after. Some error types to watch for on a 1995 D quarter include off-center strikes, die cracks, and double die errors. These errors create unique appearances on the coin, from distorted lettering to unusual markings, and can increase its value significantly. For example, a quarter with a double die error, where parts of the design appear doubled, can be worth several times more than a regular quarter. Now, let's get into what these coins could be worth. In circulated condition, meaning the coin shows some wear, a 1995 D quarter typically has a value close to face value, about 25 cents. However, if you have one in higher grades, you're in luck. A 1995 D quarter in mint state condition can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to $20 or more, depending on its grade and overall appearance. And if your coin has an error or a particularly high mint state grade, it could be worth significantly more. Some rare examples with unusual errors have sold for as much as $50 to $100 at auction.so. How can you tell if your 1995 D quarter is worth more than face value? Start by examining its condition. Look for any signs of wear on Washington's face, the eagle on the back, or the rim of the coin. Next, inspect the coin closely for any unusual markings, doubling in the text, or any off-center strikes. If you're unsure, consider taking it to a professional coin grader or a local coin dealer. They can help you identify the grade of your coin and let you know if it has any rare features that could make it more valuable. Once you know the value, you might be wondering where to sell your coin. There are a few options. You can take it to a coin shop or dealer who buys rare coins, list it on auction websites like eBay, or even bring it to a local coin show where collectors are often willing to pay a premium for interesting finds. Be sure to research the going rate for coins like yours to ensure you're getting a fair price. Value in market $1.3 million, and remember, not every 1995 D Washington quarter will be worth a lot of money. But if you happen to find one in mint condition, or with a rare error, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. It just goes to show that sometimes even the smallest items in our everyday change can have hidden value. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1995 D Washington quarter and other rare coins, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more coin collecting tips and insights. Let us know in the comments if you found any rare coins in your collection. We're going to dive into a fascinating coin that could be worth much more than just its face value, the 1994 D Washington quarter with a Denver Mint mark. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. It's just a quarter from 1994. How could it be worth anything more than 25 cents? But here's the truth. Some of these coins have unique characteristics and rare conditions that make them extremely valuable to collectors. So if you've got some spare quarters lying around, you might want to stick around to learn what makes this coin so special and what to look for if you're hoping to find one that could bring you a nice payout. The first thing we need to understand is the background of the 1994 D Washington quarter. Produced by the Denver Mint, this coin was part of the standard Washington quarter series that had been running for several decades. The D Mint mark on the coin shows it was minted in Denver, which is important because some characteristics of coins can vary depending on where they were made. While millions of these coins were produced, it's the quality and unique errors that have turned certain 1994 D quarters into collector's items worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, what should you be looking for in a 1994 D quarter that could make it so valuable? Let's start with one of the most popular factors that influence a coin's value: its condition. When we talk about condition, we're looking at things like how much wear and tear the coin has, if it has any scratches, or if the design is still sharp and clear. Coins that have been well preserved or coins in what's called uncirculated or mint state condition are far more valuable. For instance, a 1994 D quarter in near perfect condition can be worth several times its face value. And if it's been graded by a professional coin grading company as mint state 65 or higher, that value can really start to increase. This is especially true if the coin has full details, like well-defined edges on Washington's bust, or strong details on the eagle on the reverse. Beyond condition, another factor that makes these coins valuable is the presence of any minting errors or variations. Mint errors can happen during the coin-making process, and they're basically mistakes that make a coin different from the rest. These can range from things like off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned, to double dies, where part of the design appears doubled due to a misalignment in the die used to strike the coin. If you find a 1994D quarter with any of these unusual characteristics, you may have stumbled upon a rare and valuable piece. One known error to look out for is the double die error, which can sometimes be seen on Washington's profile or the lettering. A double die quarter can show a kind of shadow effect on the details, and this unique error can make a coin much more appealing to collectors. Another error to watch for is any anomaly on the reverse, such as the eagle's wings or other parts of the design looking unusual. These error coins are highly sought after, and in the right condition, they can be worth hundreds of dollars, or even more. Let's also talk about proof-like qualities. While the 1994D quarters weren't intended to be proof coins, occasionally a regular circulation coin will have proof-like characteristics due to an exceptionally polished die being used. This gives the coin an almost mirror-like finish, which is very eye-catching and rare for a business strike quarter. These coins can fetch a higher price in the collector's market because they're unusual and stand out from regular coins. Now, some of you may be wondering if you should get your 1994D quarter professionally graded, especially if you think it has some of these valuable characteristics. Grading can definitely help boost the value of your coin, especially if it's in excellent condition or has a known error. But before you send it off for grading, make sure you do a close inspection of the coin yourself or have an experienced collector take a look at it to see if it's worth the cost of grading. When it comes to selling these quarters, you have a few options. Many collectors sell through online auction sites, where rare and unique coins can attract a lot of attention from serious buyers. You can also go through coin dealers or attend coin shows where you can get a good idea of how much your coin might be worth and see what similar coins are selling for. The value can vary a lot based on things like condition and demand, so it's always good to do a bit of research and compare prices before making a sale. In summary, the 1994D Washington quarter with the Denver Mint mark might look like just another coin in your pocket, but it has the potential to be worth much more. Whether it's due to its condition, a unique error, or even an unintentional proof-like quality, there are a lot of factors that can boost its value. So next time you're going through your change, take a close look at your quarters. You might just find a hidden treasure among them. Value in market $1.3 million. Thank you for watching and being part of our community. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on coins worth big money. Let us know in the comments if you come across any rare coins, or if you have a 1994D Washington quarter. We're diving into an exciting coin that could be hiding in your pocket change without you even realizing it. We're talking about the 1989p Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin that could be worth a lot of money. Whether you're an experienced collector or someone curious about coins you come across in everyday life, you're in for a treat as we uncover what makes certain 1989 quarters so valuable and how you can spot one of these hidden treasures. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our videos about rare coins and collectibles that could be worth a small fortune. Now let's get into why the 1989p Washington quarter has collectors talking. First, let's break down some of the basics. The 1989 Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, which started back in 1932, and these quarters bear the image of George Washington on the obverse or front side, which was designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Since then, the Washington quarter has been one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in the United States, But not every quarter is created equal, and some have small details or unique features that make them stand out to collectors and investors alike. The 1989 Washington quarter might look just like any other quarter to most people, but what separates it from the rest are certain errors and conditions that make it extremely desirable. These errors are what we'll focus on today because these are the quarters that could fetch you big money. The key here is understanding that small variations or minting mistakes on coins are often what make them so valuable and rare for collectors. So let's dive into the details of these valuable errors. One of the most sought-after errors on the 1989 Washington quarter is the double die error. Now, a double die error happens during the minting process when the design on the die shifts slightly between strikes. This means the coin ends up with a doubled appearance on certain details, which can sometimes be subtle, but in other cases is easy to spot on letters, numbers, or other design elements on the coin. Collectors are always on the lookout for quarters with this type of error because they're rare and can be worth much more than their face value. If you have a 1989 quarter, take a close look at the words "I in God we trust" or "Liberty" on the front of the coin. If you see any signs of doubling on these words, it's time to get excited because you could have a valuable double die quarter. Another area to check is the date itself, as doubling in the numbers can make the coin even more valuable. While not all 1989 quarters have this error, those that do could be worth hundreds of dollars or even more depending on the coin's condition and the visibility of the doubling. Now, another type of error that can make your 1989 quarter worth a lot more than face value is the off-center strike error. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to appear shifted or cut off. Off-center strikes are usually pretty obvious because part of the design will be missing or skewed. Coins with significant off-center strikes, especially those where the date and mint mark are still visible, can sell for a premium to collectors because they're unique and rare. The more dramatic the off-center error, the higher the potential value. So if you come across a 1989 quarter with an off-center strike, hold on to it because it could be worth much more than you'd expect. Typically, off-center errors that show around 5 to 10% off can go for higher prices, but more extreme off-center strikes are the ones that collectors pay top dollar for. Besides errors, another major factor that can affect the value of a 1989 quarter is its condition. If you have a quarter that's in exceptional condition with no scratches, dents, or heavy wear marks, it could be graded at a high level by coin grading organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or NGC. High-grade coins are much more valuable than heavily circulated ones, especially for collectors looking to add pristine examples to their collections. A high-grade 1989 quarter without errors can still bring in a premium price, but if you have a high-grade quarter that also has an error like a double die or off-center strike, then you could be holding on to a really valuable piece. It's not uncommon for high-grade error coins to fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, depending on the rarity and quality of the error. So, how can you tell if your 1989 quarter is worth money? First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin closely. Look for any signs of doubling on the letters, date, or other details on the front of the coin. Next, check for off-center strikes or any other unusual features. Finally, take note of the overall condition of the coin. If it looks crisp and clean with minimal wear, you could be in luck. If you think you've found a valuable 1989 quarter, it's worth getting it appraised or graded by a professional grading service. This can help confirm the coin's authenticity and provide a more accurate valuation based on its condition and any errors it may have. Value in market $1.6 million. So there you have it. The 1989 Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary coin, but as we've discovered today, there are certain factors that can turn it into a collector's item worth a lot more than 25 cents. Whether it's a double die off-center strike or a high-grade condition, keep an eye out for these valuable variations in your pocket change. You never know when you might come across a hidden gem that could be worth a small fortune. We're diving into one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1967 Washington quarter, without a mint mark. This quarter might just be hiding in your pocket change or collection, and believe it or not, it could be worth a lot more than its face value. Now, let's start with a bit of background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, and since then, it has become a staple in American currency. The quarter has gone through numerous design changes, but the one we're focusing on today is the 1967 Washington quarter. This coin is unique and valuable for several reasons, including its lack of a mint mark, historical significance, and scarcity in high grades. First, let's talk about the missing mint mark on the 1967 Washington quarter. In 1965, due to a severe coin shortage, the U.S. Mint made the decision to remove mint marks from all coins, including the quarter, to prevent people from hoarding coins from certain mints. This continued until 1968, making the 1967 quarter part of a special group with no mint mark. So, if you look closely at a 1967 quarter and notice there's no small letter indicating the minting location, you're looking at exactly what we're talking about today. But why would this coin be worth more than its face value? Well, for starters, coins from the 1960s can sometimes hold great value due to the era's production challenges and the fluctuating quality standards at the time. In 1967, the mint was still adjusting from the silver transition, which meant the quality control was inconsistent, creating some rare varieties and errors. One of the most important factors in determining the value of a 1967 quarter is its condition or grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades being much more valuable. A typical 1967 Washington quarter that circulated might only be worth its face value. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition, meaning it's in almost the same state as when it left the mint, the value starts to increase. Coins in top conditions, like those graded mint state 65 or above, can fetch premium prices, sometimes going for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Another thing to watch out for is any unique minting errors or variations. Errors on coins can range from double strikes to off-centering, and these kinds of mistakes make coins incredibly valuable to collectors. Some 1967 quarters have been found with interesting errors, like die clashes, where part of the design was accidentally imprinted in the wrong area, or other unusual minting flaws. Collectors and numismatists go crazy over these types of errors, and they can significantly increase a coin's worth. So what should you be looking for if you want to see if your 1967 quarter is valuable? First, take a close look at the condition of your coin. Check for scratches, dents, and overall wear. If your coin is in pristine condition with no noticeable wear, it might be worth having it professionally graded. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate your coin's condition, which could potentially raise its market value. Next, examine the coin carefully for any potential errors. Look for doubling on the design elements, such as the letters or the profile of George Washington. Any unusual characteristics, like off-center strikes or die cracks, can add a premium to the coin's value. Even minor errors can make a big difference to collectors seeking unique pieces for their collections. You might be wondering, what are these coins actually selling for? Well, as with all collectibles, it depends on the market demand and the coin's condition. As of recent years, 1967 Washington quarters and top grades have sold for well over $100, with some rare high-grade examples reaching prices in the thousands. Error coins or coins with unique variations have fetched even higher prices, as they are more difficult to find and highly sought after by specialized collectors. Now, here's a great tip if you're a collector or just getting started. Try looking through rolls of quarters or coin collections from family members who may have stashed away change over the years. You'd be surprised how many people have valuable coins just lying around, waiting to be discovered. The thrill of finding a potentially valuable coin in your change is unmatched, and who knows, you might just come across a gem like the 1967 no-mint mark quarter in mint condition. Value in market $1.8 million. So, to sum it up, the 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter is a fascinating piece with historical significance and the potential to be worth a lot more than face value. Coins in high grades, coins with unique errors, and those that are well preserved are the ones that really catch the eye of collectors and bring in high prices at auctions. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about coin collecting, the 1967 quarter is definitely worth keeping an eye out for. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed this dive into rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more insights into coins that could be hiding in your pocket change, worth much more than you'd expect. We're talking about a coin that's highly collectible and can fetch an impressive price on the market. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar with no mint mark. Many people may overlook this coin, thinking it's just another quarter. But there are several reasons why the 1965 Washington quarter is worth keeping an eye on. And you might just have one that's worth a lot of money. To understand why the 1965 Washington quarter is so valuable, let's start with a bit of history. The year 1965 was a major turning point for U.S. coinage. In the early 1960s, silver prices began to rise significantly, making the cost of producing coins with silver increasingly expensive. As a result, the U.S. Mint decided to remove silver from quarters starting in 1965, replacing it with a copper-nickel blend. This change was one of the biggest shifts in U.S. coinage, marking the end of the silver quarter era. So what makes the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark so special? It all comes down to a few rare varieties and errors, plus the history that surrounds this transition year. Most 1965 quarters are not made of silver, but there are rumors of a few that somehow slipped through in the old silver composition. Let's dive into each of these key factors and discuss how they impact the value of these quarters today. First, let's discuss the possibility of silver 1965 quarters. During the transition from silver to copper-nickel, it's believed that a very small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally minted on leftover 90% silver planchets, which were meant for 1964 quarters. These rare silver 1965 quarters are extremely valuable because they're considered errors and are rare. Collectors go crazy for error coins, especially ones that happen as a result of historic transitions like this. So how can you tell if you have a silver 1965 quarter? One way is by weight. Silver quarters weigh about 6.25 grams, while copper-nickel quarters weigh around 5.67 grams. If you think you might have a silver 1965 quarter, weighing it could be a good first step. You can also check the edge of the coin. A silver quarter will have a solid silver-colored edge, while a copper-nickel quarter will have a visible copper stripe along the edge. Next, let's talk about other types of errors found in 1965 Washington quarters. During this time, the U.S. Mint was under a lot of pressure to produce large quantities of coins to meet demand, and the rush to get coins out led to some mistakes. One common error you might find in 1965 quarters is the double die error. This is when certain elements on the coin, like the lettering or numbers, appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. Double die errors are highly sought after, and depending on the severity of the doubling, these quarters can be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. Always take a close look at the words and numbers on your 1965 quarters, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date. A magnifying glass or coin loop can help you spot these details more clearly. Another error to keep an eye out for is what's known as an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned in the minting press, causing the design to be struck off-center. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin can be. Off-center 1965 quarters can be worth a significant amount, depending on how extreme the misalignment is. Collectors love these kinds of unique features, so even a slightly off-center 1965 quarter could still be worth more than its face value. Now, you might be wondering how much a 1965 Washington quarter with one of these rare characteristics could be worth. The value of these quarters varies widely depending on their condition and rarity. A standard 1965 quarter in circulated condition might only be worth face value or a little more to a collector. However, a 1965 silver quarter could be worth anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s depending on its condition. Double die errors or off-center strikes can also fetch anywhere from $100 to over $1,000. The value can be even higher if the coin is in exceptionally good condition, often referred to as mint state. It's worth noting that even though 1965 quarters without any errors aren't made of silver, some of them can still be worth more than 25 cents, especially if they're in pristine condition. Uncirculated 1965 quarters, or those with a high grade from a coin grading service, can appeal to collectors who are interested in high-quality examples of this historic coin. These high-grade coins can sell for much more than face value, sometimes reaching up to $50 or more, depending on demand. So, if you're going through your old coins or happen to come across some 1965 quarters, take a closer look. Check the weight if you suspect it might be silver. Examine the design closely for any doubling, misalignment, or other unique features. These small details can make a huge difference in value. Coin collecting is a fascinating hobby, and you never know when a coin you thought was ordinary could end up being worth a lot more than you expected. Value in market $1.9 million. To sum it up, the 1965 Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary coin, but there are a few that are anything but ordinary. Whether it's a rare silver version, a double die error, or an off-center strike, certain 1965 quarters have the potential to be worth far more than their face value. So take a close look at your collection, or even the change in your pocket. You just might have a hidden treasure. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and insights. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a unique 1965 quarter or any other valuable coin. We're diving into a topic that will excite coin collectors and history lovers alike. We're going to explore the fascinating story of the 1978 Washington quarter with the D mint mark and discuss why this coin can be worth a lot more than its face value. So, if you're interested in coins or just want to know if you have a hidden treasure in your pocket change, make sure to stick around. Let's start with some background on the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter series began in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse features an image of George Washington facing left, while the reverse shows a majestic eagle with outstretched wings. This iconic design has become one of the most recognized in U.S. coinage and remained on the quarter until 1998. Now, let's talk about the 1978 D quarter specifically. The D mint mark on this coin signifies that it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints in the United States. In 1978, both the Denver Mint and the Philadelphia Mint produced Washington quarters, with over 287 million quarters minted in Denver alone. Although these numbers may seem high, certain factors make some 1978 D quarters quite valuable, and that's what we're here to discuss. When it comes to the value of the 1978 D quarter, it's important to remember that condition plays a huge role. A 1978 D quarter in circulated condition, which shows noticeable wear from being used in everyday transactions, generally holds its face value of 25 cents. However, if you happen to find a 1978 D quarter in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, it could be worth significantly more. Coins graded by professionals, as being in MS or mint state condition are highly sought after by collectors. The better the coin's condition, the more valuable it can be. For example, a 1978 D quarter graded MS65 or higher can fetch a decent price on the collector's market. To give you a better perspective, a 1978 D Washington quarter in MS65 condition might be valued anywhere between $10 and $20 or more, depending on the demand. Coins in MS66 and above are even rarer and can go for much higher prices. If you happen to have a quarter in MS67, you could be looking at a value over $100, especially if it has been certified by a well-respected grading service like PCGS or NGC. Aside from condition, there are other factors that can add value to your 1978 D quarter. Error coins, for instance, are a big deal among collectors. Sometimes, coins are struck incorrectly during the minting process, resulting in unique and collectible error coins. Errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks are examples of mint mistakes that could increase the value of your 1978 D quarter significantly. If you have a 1978 D quarter with a visible error, it might be worth taking it to a professional for appraisal. You may be wondering, how can you tell if you have a high-grade or error coin? One way to start is by examining your quarter under good lighting and, ideally, with a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of unusual marks or striking errors. Pay close attention to details in Washington's profile on the obverse, the eagle's feathers on the reverse, and the lettering. If your coin appears flawless or shows a unique characteristic, it could be worth getting it graded. Professional grading services not only provide a reliable condition grade but also authenticate the coin, which is essential for getting top dollar in the market. Now, let's address the question on everyone's mind. Are these valuable quarters easy to find? While it's true that millions of quarters were minted in 1978, finding a high-grade example or one with an error can still be quite rare. Many quarters from this era have been in circulation for decades, meaning they've suffered wear and tear that reduces their collectible value. However, the possibility of finding a valuable quarter isn't zero. Many collectors and treasure hunters still check their change regularly for these rare finds, as uncirculated examples sometimes appear in pocket change or coinrolls.so. What should you do if you come across a 1978 D quarter that looks to be in excellent condition? First, handle the coin with care. Avoid touching the surface with your fingers, as oils and dirt can affect its value. If you have coin holders or capsules, these are a great way to keep your coin protected. Next, consider having your coin professionally graded if you believe it's in particularly good shape. While there is a fee for grading, the added value of authentication and an official grade can make it worthwhile, especially if you plan to sell the coin. Value in market $2 million to wrap things up. The 1978 D Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary coin, but if it's in top-notch condition or features a unique mint error, it could be worth much more than 25 cents. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and you just might find a hidden treasure. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, valuable coins like this can be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for joining us today and learning about the potential value of the 1978 D Washington quarter. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more insights into coins worth money and other fascinating collectibles.